first maybe 3 months, we reached 10K MRRs.
This is Mickey. He went from 0 to 1 million ARR with Zernio, a SaaS that sells access to APIs he doesn't own. Before that, he built a VC-backed startup with hundreds of employees.
There was a moment I thought that it wasn't my company anymore. I was feeling more that I had a job than actually it was my company.
Then quit everything to start over, but this time 100% bootstrapped.
We kind of combine a bit the BC growth mindset, but being bootstrapped.
His playbook, ship in a weekend, run ads from day one, and hire fast. In this episode, you will learn how Mickey scaled to 1 million ARR with only Google Ads and SEO, how he keeps churns near zero with clients who can't leave, and what he would do if he had to start from scratch today. So Mickey, I got this tweet not long ago. I saw it and it was your story basically, that you went from 0 to 1 million ARR in about 10 months, right?
Yes.
So for you, let's start by that. What do you think is the single thing that helped you to go so fast, so far with one tool?
So I think like the first thing that we did, and which I think is like different from what people usually does, is we started running ads since day zero. So this, I think, helped us get a lot of attention since the beginning when you're just starting out and iterate faster. So yeah, I would say like this is the most different thing that we have done compared to others.
Interesting. And before talking about Zernio, can you just go back to what you were doing before, actually? Like, what is your background?
Yeah. I have been building companies since I was 18. I previously built a company here in Spain, which is called Ucademy, which, well, we have raised a huge amount of money, and well, it still exists today and is pretty big. We have around 100 employees, and it's like a net tech company for exam preparation. So I started doing that. This was kind of my first big company or success. And then I wanted to switch to SaaS. I wanted to software. That's my background. I wanted to do technology. So I kind of dropped out of the company. And then for a year, I was just kind of lost trying to do lots of things. And then we started with Zernio, and it made sense very fast because we saw that there was a lot of traction.
And what made you actually quit the VC path to actually go into the bootstrap one? Because you're not the only one. I feel like it's rare that people do the opposite. And I feel like a lot of people want to escape the VC path. Why is that?
Well, for me, I think it's just like a personal choice, and there was a moment I thought that it wasn't my company anymore, right? I had kind of lost control, and yeah, I thought, or I was feeling more that I had a kind of a job than actually it was my company, right? So yeah, I just wanted kind of the freedom. Also, I think that when you raise money from VC, you have like a huge growth target in front of you that's always moving. So you're well never satisfied, and it's never enough, and always, well, you're burning kind of a lot of money, so you need to keep raising. So it's just kind of a trap, and I was feeling that we were not doing good enough, but we were actually doing very good, right? But because of having these VC money and a lot of investors, it felt that way. So yeah, I when I quit, I thought that well, my next company would definitely be Bootstrap.
And did you succeed straight away? Like, because I think this was a side project. But did you do any project in between, or was this one the first success you had?
No, I did two others, and they were much smaller. So yeah, maybe I reached 5K MRR, and with the other one would reach 7 or 8K MRR. So it was much smaller than with Zernio, and yeah, I was doing that for the first year. So it was not bad, but I always wanted more, right? I wanted bigger revenue. So yeah, I was at the beginning when starting with Zernio, I was still doing the other projects. But then as we thought, or as we saw that the project was growing, I decided to quit the other projects and focus entirely on Zernio.
And what is your process to actually find ideas? Because it seems like even if you had only 5K MRR, that was still like a project that were making money. So what is your process to actually find ideas and then build something?
For me, it was kind of from pains that I had in the past, right? The tools I needed that I didn't have, and this was one of the like first tools that I built after quitting my old company was Tailride, which is kind of an invoice extractor, and it was a really big problem that we had on my old company. But it was it is like a difficult space to build in and to grow, and there's a lot of compliance or a lot of tax related things. So it was still like a good revenue and MRR, but it felt like difficult to grow, right? So I never felt that we had product market fit. And then like I think for me it's either like pains that I have or problems or other startups that I see that I think we can do it better. So we just kind of copy it and improve somehow.
So Zernio was that. It was like a problem that you had, something that you wanted to do. And I think you were the perfect ICP for that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There was a moment where we saw a lot of people was building on social media integrations, but we were not seeing anyone building like an API first tool for that, right? And it was like a huge if. We didn't know if there would be traction for it, but yeah, we thought it would be a school-based space to build in. So that's why we decided to ship it and then see how it went.
Can you explain me a little bit more what is Zernio exactly?
Yeah, Zerni is a social media API, basically for other SaaS that want to add social media features into their software, but don't want to handle either all the bureaucracy of applying to each social media developer program, etc., which takes weeks, and you need to get like a huge compliance process, blah blah blah, and also don't want to handle all the infrastructure of scaling like all the social media features, right? It can be posting, but we also have analytics, comments, DMs, or even ads. So our ideal ICPs, big softwares that want to add social media features into their stack and don't want to do like the heavy lifting.
Okay. And can you explain, like, can you give me maybe a use case on like what kind of, how do you integrate the social media and why would you do that?
Yeah, for example, we have like the most common case is probably an AI software that does like image generation or video generation, something like that. And then they won't allow their users to post this content into social media, right? So it's not their core offer, like it's not their core product. So they want to focus on the AI things and on the content generation part, but still they want to offer their users the option to do that, right? But maybe it's a small team, or maybe they just want to try and externalize it as much as possible. So they usually start finding or searching for solutions on how to do that. They try and use the Meta API directly or any other API, and they see it's a nightmare to handle. So then they try Zernio, and usually when they try it, and they're integrating with us directly, and it feels much easier.
So you grew really fast, 0 to 1 million ARR in 10 months. You have a churn, a really low churn, I think under 10%.
Yeah.
Like, I need to know everything. Can you give me the timeline from like day 0 to where we are now?
Yeah. Yeah. So it was kind of exponential because, at the beginning it was growing fast, but not that fast. But yeah, then we like the first maybe 3 months, we reached 10K MRR, something like that. And then as we kept adding new things, and as we started to like get bigger clients, like bigger clients pay more to us, right? So it was easier to scale when we close like bigger deals with bigger software companies because they had lots of accounts. So then the MRR started to climb faster, and then the churn is, I'd say, pretty high when it's on the lower plans for small developers. Someone that has maybe 8, 10 accounts and it's using it for himself or his own project. But then as the software, as our APIs are integrated into like a big software, all the user accounts are connected to Zernio. It's very difficult for the actual user to churn, right? Because to migrate, they will need to disconnect all the user accounts and not only do like the integrations themselves or maybe with a competitor, but yeah, migrate all the existing users, and it might be a friction to their actual users.
So you used first, you said paid ads. I think it was mainly Google ads, right?
Yeah.
And SEO combined. Can you explain me more like how it worked and what you did? What kind of keyword did you target?
Yeah. So since the beginning, we targeted very like intentional searches, both on SEO and ads. Basically, someone that is searching for Meta ads, Meta API or Google API, YouTube API, TikTok API. These are very, very qualified searches for us because basically we are kind of not a substitutor because we still use the official API, but we are kind of the ideal alternative for someone that's looking to build with these APIs, right? So this started working very well since the beginning. Ranking organically for these keywords obviously is very difficult because it contains like brand searches. Meta API, obviously, it's very difficult to outrank Meta in this keyword. But with the paid ad, you can do it pretty easily, right? So we found out that this started working well. So we kind of always have kept spending more on Google primarily, and yeah, this has been kind of our playbook. And then with SEO, we have been trying to also target long tail keywords, but also branded keywords as much as we can where it's possible.
You know SEO works, you just don't have the time for it. But every day you spend postponing boring marketing is another win for your competitor who already ranked #1 on Google. Take this example. If you have a social media scheduling tool, then people will look for that on Google. They will search exactly this keyword, and as you can see, there is 3,400 people who are looking for this exact keyword every single month on Google, which means that there is 3,400 chances for you to convert these visitors into customers. And this works for any kind of product. People are searching on Google trying to find the best product in this market. And if you want to convert these people into customers, you have no choice but to show up in this zone. The only thing you have to do is to kickstart your SEO now, so it will compound over time. But I understand, you're probably way too busy trying to improve your product. That's why we built this trip. You just have to create an account, add your website, and we take care of everything. We write and publish daily content for you, build backlinks from real businesses, so your brand shows up on Google and AI search. If you want to give it a try, you can click on the link in the description to get your 3 days free trial. Now back to the episode. And how did you manage, because I feel like the growth was pretty fast and the churn is pretty low. You said that it's mainly because enterprise customers have low churn, but how did you manage both? Because I know, like, as a SaaS founder myself, that it's pretty hard to actually like get the feedback, make the product better, and make sure that, you know, both are in balance. There is growth and the churn is low. How did you manage that?
I think that for me, like the most important thing for that was like start to build team, right? I had in mind that I wanted to like to build a team when the product started to grow. So this way we didn't like we have managed to keep the balance, right, and not just focus either on growth or on the product. So when we maybe on month 3 or 4 or something like that, we already hired like the first person, and then we have kept hiring people, and now we are 5 people. So I think this has helped us a lot. Well, keeping the balance while keeping the product good, keeping the support good, and also being able to invest in growth and doing everything at once. I think that, well, for me, when I was alone, it was very difficult to do. So I always had to kind of leave something on the table. But now we're trying to do as much as possible.
So your first hire was a dev, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, what were the first person that you hired to actually make sure that your team was good?
So it was a support person, which was also a developer. So yeah, first person was a developer, and the second one was also a developer, but only focused on support, because we had like lots of tickets, and we wanted to like be able to handle everything correctly and give good support. And also, like, this person is focused on solving bugs, basically being fast with all the customer requests. Then the third hire was also a developer. So we, like the first 4 people, we were all developers, and the fifth one was a growth person, which is well, the first growth hire that we have done. And it has been like 1 month ago, something like that. So very very recent.
And there is one point during your growth, I think it was around March, that you did product hunt launch. And that's when, that month, I think that's when you reached 80K MRR. Is there anything else that happened in this month? Or like, why did you grow so fast? I think it was like 40 to 80K in about 2 months or something like that. You doubled your MRR. What happened at this time?
I don't think there was like something special, but since the beginning we were kind of doubling our MRR, and then we also kept like doubling our ad spend. So it was kind of very mathematical in the sense that we were always trying to get our funnel like double month to month. So the MRR always kept also doubling, which, well, right now it has already stopped doubling every month, because I think it's very difficult to keep the speed. But yeah, we tried and measure like the funnel since the beginning, so we get like double sign-ups every month, and we could keep the speed. So yeah, we tried some things like the product hunt launch, but I'd say that for us it didn't really work or bring any revenue, and all the revenue that came basically was from the same channels that were already working. So yeah, I would say nothing special for the actual. There was no viral posts or anything like that happened to us. So it had to be very like hard earned.
You say that it's mathematical. With ads, there is a risk that you spend too much and you have not enough money to continue paying, because there is always this period where you do the ads and then the customer pay maybe 10 days later, 15 days later. Did you take any risk, or did you actually calculate everything, make sure that you will never miss actually capital for that?
Yeah, I'd say at the beginning it was like more. I was more cautious about not spending too much. But then as we grew, our costs didn't grow dramatically. So we had kind of a pretty big buffer that we could rely on. So right now, we have like a vague idea of how much we can spend, but we don't actually like calculate it to the cent, right? So, but yeah, at the beginning we had to be very careful, because we didn't have any money. But then as we kept growing, then like we have built some cash, and we have like a bit of safety. I'd say that we can maybe in a month spend a bit more or something like that, and there's no risk. So yeah, and also I think that it helps keeping like the team small and not overhiring, which um, happens a lot on VC-backed startups. You have the money, so you kind of want to spend it. So yeah, we're trying to keep the team as small as possible, so we don't make like stupid decisions or silly things.
Do you think that raising money and growing that much with the VC-backed company that you had before gave you a lot of experience to actually build this bootstrap SaaS?
Yeah, definitely. I think that like for the ad side, on my old company, we still rely a lot on ads. So it was easy to me at the beginning to say, okay, well, we'll start running ads since day one, even if we're not profitable, even if we don't have a lot of money. So yeah, I think that we kind of combine a bit like the BC growth mindset, but being bootstrapped. So I don't think it's kind of incompatible at all. Obviously, it depends on how much or how faster you want to grow. I don't think we could ever grow as fast as Cursor did or something like that. So yeah, but I don't think it's incompatible in the sense that we can still grow fast while not raising money because we have the money to do it.
When you do Google Ads, what kind of funnel do you do? Is it like straight away to sales page? Is it to a lead magnet? Is it to a comparison page with a competitor? Like what kind of funnel do you use?
Right now, like we have a bigger budget and we have kind of an agency that's helping us run the ads. And we have specific landing pages for the ads and specific creative for the ads, all these things. It's very different from what we had at the beginning, which is everyone was just going straight to the main landing page. There was nothing specific about it, and actually it still worked pretty well. So yeah, at the beginning, I was running the ads myself, so I tried to keep it as simple as possible, so it was manageable. But yeah, as we grew, we started like segmenting better and doing better things. But I still think that it's important to start simple and yeah, don't try and overcomplicate it because it becomes unmanageable, right? I just tried setting up the campaigns on Google Ads and just left it running there. I didn't have to kind of work on them every day or didn't want to because I wanted to focus on other things. But still, obviously the campaigns were not kind of optimized, but well, at least they were bringing people. So that was the important thing.
You started solo, and I think you built it in one weekend, right? The V1. What
Yeah.
is the step by step that you follow to build a SaaS really fast, validate really fast, and just make sure that you just work on the good thing and you're not wasting your time?
Yeah, for me, I mean, it was easy to think like that because we um, didn't have another choice, right? We didn't have anything to lose. We had another projects that were growing, but not amazingly. So yeah, when I had the idea or wanted to start building it, I thought, I didn't really think much about it. I just like felt the urge to start building. So I think that something that happens to a lot of us. So yeah, I just decided to go through the weekend and to get as far as possible as I could, and then I just decided to add Stripe into it and then to yeah to basically ship it and see how it went, right? So it was like on the first weeks, just from seeing from the traffic that we were getting and like the conversions, I was actually comparing it to my to the other projects that I was running, and I felt that like the numbers were much better, right? So just seeing like the first conversions, the first subscribers, I already saw that it was, well, it felt much easier than for the other projects. So yeah, I then obviously like the product that we shipped in that weekend, it's nothing compared to what we have now. But yeah, it was, I think, pretty good. And well, thanks to all the AI tools that we have now, and it's very easy to ship the first version.
So what was it? A beta version, a landing page, and a Stripe account, and then you did ads on Google Ads.
Yeah, exactly.
And the first keyword that you targeted were the keyword that you talked about before, Meta API or
Yeah. Yeah, at the beginning we shipped like maybe 4 or 5 integrations at most. So yeah, it was Meta API and then probably TikTok API and Twitter API, something like that. So these were probably like the 4 or 5 things, the first campaigns that we were running.
And I don't know if you're okay to share that, but you say that the first number were actually a green flag for you. What kind of number, like if I never did ad in my life, like what kind of number can I expect when I do ads, like the cost per lead? What do you look at if it works, if it's working or not?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't looking at numbers at the beginning, really, because I mean, it gives you a lot of numbers. It gives you like the cost per acquisition cost, which for us was huge, and it wasn't like even. I think it was kind of double our lifetime value that Stripe told us. But yeah, I wasn't really looking at it at the beginning, at least because I thought that if we kept improving the product, then well, the numbers would kind of make sense on itself, right? So I was not obsessed about making the numbers work the first maybe 2 or 3 months because it was still to like a very initial stage. Like people are just starting to use your product, you don't know what your retention will be. Your product's still probably shit, so you have to improve lots of things to keep the churn low. um so yeah, even now, I mean, we do track some things, but still we are not kind of obsessed on the metrics to work, right? Obviously, like for me, there's like a key metric, which is the MRR or ARR, and then like the money that we have on the bank. So at least if the money doesn't go to zero, I can't. I'm chill and I don't panic. So uh, then yeah, some we have started to look at like how the acquisition cost compares to lifetime value and all these things. But yeah, it wasn't like an obsession at the beginning, and yeah, I also I'm not an expert on this, so probably my my opinion is not like the best one, but I'd say just do it and then see if it makes sense or not.
You're not an expert in ads, you said,
Yeah, I'm definitely not an expert. I'm
but,
just I was playing around with them.
but you still started yourself, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's crazy. And then at one point, you also combined with SEO. Did you actually target straight away the keyword that were converting in ads, or did you do a total different strategy?
Yeah, I mean, we try a lot of things on SEO, and it has now changed a lot compared to what we were doing. At the beginning, I was trying to shoot at everything, right? I don't know, creating blogs with AI. I was trying to rank for these keywords that were working for us in Google Ads. Um, because yeah, I just kind of read on SEO on Twitter, and that's all I knew, right? So yeah, and it didn't work for, I'd say, like the main keywords that were already working on Google Ads because they were very, as I said, competitive or branded like Meta Ads or Meta API. It's very difficult to run for that, right? But yeah, we did get some like long tail keywords, and also like the kind of the ads that we were running were helping us in gather all this data too. So yeah, at first we were shooting at everything with SEO, and it something at least something was sticking, and now like nowadays we're trying like to hit the keywords exactly that Google says that for the ads are working. So yeah, it's changing fast, and for example, we have stopped trying to generate a lot of content with AI and instead focus on a small or much less content So it's more qualitative, and maybe Google sees that as a quality signal.
Are you looking at other distribution channel right now, or you just focus on these two and you will push as far as you can?
I mean, not right now. We are working on other acquisition channels, for example, YouTube, and maybe mainly partnering with other creators in the like the dev tool space. But I think that these two channels can take us very, very far. So we are mainly focused on these two channels, and at the same time trying to do some other things. We'll see. But yeah, I think that these two can um, get us very, very far. So yeah, and I'd say that, I mean, even we could have focused entirely on ads, at least at the beginning, to get faster to 1 million ARR, maybe. Um, but yeah, we worked on both. But yeah, probably if I started again, I would just focus on one and then improve the shit out of it. So we would improve faster. But yeah, I think that at the beginning you were just scrolling on Twitter and see everyone doing very cool things. So it's difficult not to try and shoot at everything that you see. So yeah, it's more about doing less things than doing everything.
Do you spend a lot of time talking to your customer? Or,
Yeah.
like working with the support, you hired someone with that, but do you yourself also look at it?
Yeah, all of us do. I think that for us, it's just not about the support itself, but the like we get an insane amount of data requests, and that we try and do as fast as possible. So for us, it's very, very important. So yeah, all of us do it still. We have like one person which is dedicated to it, but like the rest of days we try and all of us do it. So yeah, we are also sometimes, not every day, but sometimes we jump on call with customers and we speak with them. So I'd say that, well, this is very, very important for us, and it has helped us incredibly like iterate very, very fast.
Do you have like a specific workflow? Like, did you build something to get a lot of feedback for your customer, or it's just like organic?
Yeah, it's very organic. We use feature base for like the feature requests and all that, but I mean, most feature requests just come to the support chat, right? So from that we try and we try and ship it immediately. Like if it's something that we can do at the moment, which is tell Claude to ship it, and we try and do that. If it's obviously something bigger, then it kind of we have to get it on the roadmap or on some of the weeks. But yeah, it's like you get lots of requests, and then we have like an idea, all of us, of what has been the most requested thing, and then we kind of ship it when the time comes. So yeah, there's no huge system, just like lots of tickets. I think that like we use Chris for our support, and I think that we get like 150 conversations every day on the support. So yeah, it's a lot of work.
Quick one. I'm looking for 30 founders already doing between 5K to 50K MRR who want to push their SaaS to 100K MRR together. I'm launching profitable founder community. Weekly group calls, monthly Q&A with founder who already reached that goal, and a private community for daily conversation. The goal is to build a mastermind of hungry founders who will push each other to reach that goal. The first batch is capped to 30 founders only. So if you're in, you can already apply by clicking on the link in the description. And I will get back to you when the first batch is ready. Now back to the episode. Why did you rebrand actually?
I mean, our brand was called Get Late. The domain was getlate.deb. Um, so for me, it was just like when someone asked me, what's the domain? It's just very, very difficult to spell, right? Also, like being called late, which is like, very general. It's obviously that if you search late on Google, our company wouldn't pop up ever, right? So also when we started, we didn't think about the brand itself. So we wanted something recognizable, something different, and that's when, well, after these months of already having traction, we thought it was better to do it as fast as possible. And then there was also like there's this social media scheduler called Later, which is kind of a competitor, or well, I wouldn't say like a huge competitor to us because it's different space, but we feared that they could come after us someday, right? So yeah, it was like a bunch of things, but yeah, not I mean not ideal. Obviously, changes are not for everyone, and it was a bit confusing for users at first. But yeah, I think it was a good decision.
Were there like friction? Because, for example, with SEO, you have to be sure that everything is redirected. Is there like anything else that were really hard to do? Because I don't know, I know that a lot of people choose name fast at the beginning just to, ship, which is good, but then you can regret it. Like, is it a big work to do rebranding?
I would say not huge. I mean, I would probably still like ship something, and if it sticks, then rebrand it. So yeah, it was maybe like, I mean, 1 week work. Well, designing the brand and all these things took more time, but the actual like technical work, customers, it was 1 or 2 weeks at most. So I think that, but yeah, it's not huge. And with SEO, I mean, for us, we had some SEO, but it was not incredible, so there was not like a huge risk for that. And yeah, it recovered pretty quick if we actually do like everything that Google recommends, like the redirection, blah blah blah. So yeah, it's not that. I mean, I think it's more like a mental barrier than than something extremely difficult.
So you're based in Barcelona, and I want to ask you this question because I don't hear a lot of builders in Barcelona, and people talk a lot about Europe. What is your position on that?
Well, I'm kind of very like, I didn't spend like a lot of time meeting people like in the space, or even here in Barcelona. Like sometimes I meet someone that's building, and that's cool. Sometimes I reach out to someone. Sometimes I get reached out. So yeah, I don't spend like huge amount on it. I probably spend like more than I'd like to, because like Twitter is very 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 easy to lose your time on it during the day. So yeah, I mean, for me, I don't really have like an opinion. I don't really care about it. I mean, we're just bettering from here. Like all our team is in Spain. We are remote, but we're kind of scattered around the country. So yeah, I haven't given it a lot of thoughts. Most of our customers are from the United States. That's true. Like 50-60% are from the US. Um, so yeah, I mean, for us, we obviously hadn't hit like a huge roadblock that leads us to build on Europe. And yeah, and for me personally, like I want to be close to my family here, so probably like that's the number one thing that keeps me here. But yeah, I don't know in the future if this will change. But yeah, I mean, for us, we have not really hit like huge block that prevents us from doing business from here. Um, Obviously, you see like taxes are higher, but yeah, I mean, I suppose that we haven't thought a lot about it because it's going well. Probably if it was going not that well, we would give more thought into it.
What are the next steps for Zernio? Like, how do you plan to scale? We talk about the distribution channel that you're targeting, but what is your vision for it?
For us, I think it's just keep doing what we're doing. I think that we found kind of a good product. I think that we can like do a lot of more things, even on the integrations that we already have. Like we can go a lot deeper, and also like we have to grow our core infrastructure to be able to get to bigger users, like on other softwares that maybe have millions of users, which is starting to happen, right? We're starting to to get requests of huge softwares that will integrate social into their application, and we need to be able to do this correctly, like to serve them, and that there will be no issues. So our idea is to get or be the number one social media API in the space. So probably like staying in the niche, and obviously then there are still lots of integrations that we can add. For example, WhatsApp is one of the biggest ones that we have recently added. And well, I think that from what we have seen, it's a space obviously that's growing because more people are creating apps with AI, shipping new things. So yeah, we want to like be the number one API in the social media space.
You've been building since you're 18 years old. I don't know how old you are now, but what are the biggest
25.
25? Well, that's good.
Yeah.
What are the biggest lesson that you got, and what is the biggest bullshit about building, and what people talk about online, but that are not true at all?
Well, I think that like there's lots of different. For example, one of the one that we already mentioned. For me, I mean, I feel myself like part indie hacker, but also I have been in a BC backed company, right? So I don't think it's like black or white. I don't think it's either you are bootstrap and you stay small, or you are BC and you want to to grow as fast as possible. I think there's kind of a gray space there that you can still grow fast and be bootstrap at least. Well, I mean I see other companies doing that, right? For example, Chatbase is I think it's doing that, and we are trying to do the same thing. So I don't think it's like one thing or the other. I'm also very like when someone says you have to do this like this way and this is the only way possible, I always try and not do that, because I think that I mean uh, BC I think that BCs have a lot of sense for some type of company. So I don't think it's also bad on itself. Also, I mean, being an indie hacker and not wanting to to have a team, I think it's also valid. So I think it's everything is more about like personal decisions or preferences than someone that tells you you have to do this this way. And another thing that I think is that I think like if we spend like maybe less time on the internet on or yeah, like on the space with all the noise that there is, and instead we spend more time like with our customers and yeah, trying to to build better product, scale the acquisition. I think also like the company would go better. But it's always this FOMO, right? That you like need to be in the conversations, that you need to be like on social media, all that. And well, for us, I don't think we are. I think we are very small on social media, and it has not been like impediment for us to grow. So so yeah, I would say that.
I think it's funny because that's the third time that you talk about that. Two times about Twitter and now again. How long do you spend a day on social media?
I mean, probably around 1 to 2 hours, something like that. So, but I still think that it's too much. I think that it's good for some things. I mean, we get like a lot of inspiration and see what other people are building, but you also get like a lot of inputs, right? So, and you have to be very cold, or yeah, have a like a cold mind and not and not try and apply everything to yourself and do everything that everyone is doing.
I'll ask you a last big question because you did it really fast. So I would like to know what will be the playbook that you will use today to actually do it again and without all the mistakes that you did, even if you probably didn't do a lot of mistakes. from like finding an idea, building a prototype, and distribution?
Well, I think there's something like very important, which is like you have to hit it with an idea that actually grows, right? And not do like reinvent the wheel or something very difficult. So I would probably just pick something that's working and try and do it better, right? I see someone that's growing as a company that's maybe really big, that already have that I can build an alternative to, right? So I don't have to build a market for it, because if I try to build a company from scratch, something very innovative, well, I'm sure it's possible, but for me it would be very, very difficult to do, right? So I would just pick something that I know I like, because would like to enjoy it, and then something that I could build myself and that it already exists. So then, well, then I would just do the same, right? Start running ads since day one, build a team as fast as I can, because at least I can start relying also on other people and not only on myself. Um, and then I think everything becomes easier when you have like a good team, and you don't have to like do everything yourself.
Is there a last thing that you would say to someone who maybe is watching right now and want to start and is hesitating or is struggling? Like you've been at the beginning, you didn't make it straight away. So what will you tell to this person?
Well, I think it's very cliche, but just tell it straight. I think that well, we see it all the time, right? People that well, you're building, you're doing things, and sometimes they don't stick. But yeah, if you try long enough, I'm sure that you'll find something that works. And another thing I would say is just like don't get just keep doing like the same thing, but try and iterate very fast, right? It's not a problem to just keep throwing things in the trash, but you have to try as much things as possible for them to work, right? Sometimes you are just trying something that just there's no market for it, and no one needs it, or maybe everyone needs it, but you can't monetize it or something like that. Just try and iterate and do as many things as possible. Something will stick, and then you can focus on it, but not before, right? If like for us, we started third project, they were not growing or working as much as we would like, so we started trying things, and then we focused on Zernio.
Well, Mickey, thank you for your time. And I will get you when you hit 10 million a year.
Thanks for having me.